So what we have seen yesterday, conditional split. What else? Data conversion. No, we have not seen it, right?
No,
Okay.
no reason.
Okay. All right. So let's open our SSDT and our project. Today we are over time, 14 minutes almost.
And you saw I installed the software again, but again I am getting the same error in
Mm,
SSIS.
mm,
So
should not.
3 4 errors I have searched in internet and it was got removed.
Mm-hmm.
1 2 errors I am not able to identify what it is.
Related to same credentials.
Some dimension it was throwing some error.
No, no. While
Like
deploying
some
only or some other
no during during process.
process.
Deployment error got fixed. During process it was throwing error.
Okay. Check it. Maybe you will get it. I'm not sure. I mean, if we have time today, we'll see. If not, it's almost late, right? So we'll see it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
But you
I will
can
try to fix it
take
by
us.
today.
Yeah. Fix it, and also just send me a snap of it. I can look into
Okay.
it. Maybe not today, but till then you try to fix
Okay.
it.
Okay, sure.
So you see that sequence container, and let's take the other one. Right. So with this, what are you doing? You're actually minimizing your in the same package. You're creating everything, right? What's today? Today is 26th, right? What are we going to look
Yes.
today? Maybe few other scenarios. Let's work on it. We will have one particular. We have one particular task called typecast. Okay. So as you understand, what's a typecast?
Uh, Data type conversion.
Right. Data type conversion. So nothing but converting your values. For instance, let's say you have an Excel or flat file, whatever it is, as a source. You know, by default, flat file has everything as what data type?
Text.
Text, right? So you have customer key, first name, gender, and yearly income. I have it, right? If you want to check the data type, where you can check, go into connection manager. What's happening? Taking longer time. Advanced. Check this. This is 4-byte integer. It shows. This is Unicode string. This is a Unicode string, and this is a currency data type. Now let's do one thing. Let's load it into one destination, which is OLEDB destination. Double click on this, and then let's say I'm going to create one particular destination on fly. Now if you see this, it's of type integer. This is of type nvarchar. So Unicode means nvarchar. Instead of nvarchar, I'm just keeping it as varchar in the destination, and this one also as varchar. Okay. Cast is my table name. I have first name and gender as varchar, but in source what I have it as, in source what do I have it as? I have it as nvarchar, right? Nvarchar. So these columns, if you hover over it, it will give you the data type. Okay, so this is of type nvarchar, which is nothing but Unicode. Okay, so let me write something here for your convenience so that you don't get confused. Unicode means what? N varchar in
And
SQL. Okay. Non-Unicode means what?
where can
Varchar in SQL. So don't get confused. Now mapping won't happen if you have this type of value in source and you want to load the data in this type of column. Mapping won't happen. That's why it's throwing an issue. It says file first name cannot be converted between Unicode and non-Unicode. That means your source is a Unicode, which is a nvarchar, and your destination is a varchar, which is a string. So it cannot actually load. Okay, that's what the issue is. So if you want to address this type of questions using a transformation, best way would be a date conversion transformation. So what do you want to convert is what you're going to select here. First name and gender is what you wanted to convert to a varchar, which is nothing but a string. And you can even change the length. So maybe you want it to be 100, you can change it to 100 here. That should be absolutely fine. Now this output alias will be like this. So gender, so I can say gender casted and first name casted, right? So this will be my output columns. So while doing the mapping, so what do I map? Instead of my source first name, I would remove this and map it to what?
First name cast.
Casted first name, and then direct gender to
Gender.
casted gender. Now if
so
you click on,
DTSTR is N varchar. Hello?
yeah, str
Oh,
string, ddstr is a varchar.
okay.
Now you see there's no error right now, right? Because if you see in the left hand side it's of string, and in the right hand side it's of string. So this is where you basically see the use of what? Typecast. Okay, so if I run this one, what happens is it will go ahead and execute the result the table, right? Now sometimes you can even do this in order to eliminate more efforts from coming in from data conversion. Maybe an alternate, just out of scope topic, maybe trying to show you. I didn't do any practice because these things I've been doing, so I don't think I need to look at it or anything as such. Let's see an alternate whether it works or not. Alternate of what? Cast. Now let me remove all of this. I have a flat file source which has nvarchar right now, and then I have a
One second, please. Anupam, can you please mute yourself because our voice is coming actually.
It's not done.
From my side?
Jammu. Yeah, everyone mute your.
Yes.
I think that charging, that sparking sound is coming.
Now,
No, it's not coming right now.
is it still coming, Anupam? Sorry, Anup.
No.
Who was the question here? Okay, so now I'm just loading it into destination. What's my table name? Cast, right? So where's cast? It is here. If you map it, obviously it won't work. Now the ultimate or alternate way is maybe what you can do is right click on this, go into show advanced editor. After going into advanced editor, go into input output and go into output columns and change their data types to a string and this to a string. So what did we do just now? You see there's no error. So what did we do? Right click, go show advanced editor, input output properties, go into output columns and change their data types directly from the source. Is this clear? You can do in this way. Maybe there's another way also. Let me check if that is also doable. So this is working, right? So let me change it back uh, to a Unicode itself. This was Unicode, right? So let's change it to Unicode itself. And this was also Unicode. Click OK. Right? There's an error. So maybe this can also be sorted going into Connections Manager. Double click, right? Come into Advanced, come into First Name, and there you see it's Unicode. Change it to string. Yes, it is refreshing basically, right? Do you see this? Multiple ways of achieving this solution. So it's all about you understanding things in a different ways. Okay, so maybe sometimes you're trying to develop it, you will see issues because of Unicode, non-Unicode, which is not visible to you actually because they are taken care either in Connection Manager or in Source, stuff like that. So this was another alternate to it. Now let's go with some other master transformation alter to the same and also with some other values. Let's try and understand a master transformation for now. What was this? This had what it had. That's fine. Let me go back. This is what I wanted to show in today's class, which is very important to know. Let me rename this typecast and disable this. And then this one is a master transformation, which is going to be a derived column. Why do I call it as master? I'm not sure if people call it or not, but I call it as a master transformation. I'll show you the benefits of it. Okay, so let's think of that you have the data from your Excel sheets. Okay, Excel source. I had that Excel already, so let me point to one of the sheet of that particular Excel. Whatever it is, I don't worry about it. I have enough values available here. Now I want to load this information into my destination. But how? What's my requirement is, if you see this is the data what I have. My requirement is I have in destination as full name. It's first name, middle name and last name here. My requirement is that marital status is M, so it should be married. Okay, or let me take a good way, because this is not giving me so that I can show you more examples on it. Let me just take OLEDB source to get values from the database itself directly. Dim customer, okay, and column, all of the columns. I have many things to explore now. Maybe give some sample examples. So full name is what they are expecting, along with if he is a male, then it should be a Mr. If she is a female, then Miss. Okay, and then what they are looking at is probably to get the age of the customer, and also what else? Do you see address anywhere here? Address line. Okay, so maybe there's some things they wanted to do with regards to this data. For an example, email address, they just want values before at the rate, okay, and send it to the another column, right? So there are things, there are use cases, few examples. Let's go ahead and adhere that. OLEDB source, I can do whatever I want Most probably using a derived column. Firstly, let's come get this derived column, understand what it does. Is this look similar to some other transformation which we have looked at? If yes, which transformation was it?
Conditional split.
Uh, Character man. No, these are conditional split.
Conditional split.
Conditional split, right? But here there was a condition. Here it's not a condition. This is not meant to add a condition. What is this meant to? This is meant to
Expression.
add columns, additional columns
Column.
from the source. Let's say 5, then 5 plus 2 will be 6, right? 5 plus 2 will be 6.
7.
7.
Okay, all right. So now let's try to do some calculations here. Now what's the requirement? I need to first create a full name, right? So you can directly write it here, first name plus middle name plus what else? Last name. And this is my
Full name.
full name. So how many columns? Maybe there are lots of columns. One more column will get added here, which is nothing but full name. Now let me show you the data how it looks like. Let me double click on this. Add the data viewer. Data viewer is so helpful many times. It really enables you to tab your data and check what exactly is flowing into your destination. So I personally like it before loading the data into the destination. You see there is a gap. What is the gap? There are null.
Because any one of them may be blank, no? That's why.
First name, middle name is null, and last name has the value. So anything concatenated with null is null in Microsoft Word, either in SQL or in SSIS. So these values are getting null. So what's the solution to it?
Is null.
Is null.
Right. So can we do this here? Let's check. Go to derive. First let's work with and check if we have is null. So where do we find is null?
Null functions.
Null functions. It's very easy to navigate. It takes an expression. So what are you checking out in is null? What are you? Which value? Which column?
Middle
First
name.
name.
Marital status?
Middle name.
Middle name. So what does this return? If you see this data type is what?
Boolean.
Boolean.
So that means it will return true or false.
One.
True or false.
True or false, yeah.
Okay, so if it is true, then what you want to do? If it is true, then
Just
you want to make it as
Blank string.
Leave
then
it blank.
space.
space. Else
Space,
what
yeah.
you want to do?
Middle
First
name.
name, middle name, and last name. Middle name.
Middle name.
Middle name only.
So this is how a case statement can also be configured. Okay, if this value is true, that means let's say if I say if gender is equal to M, then male, or let me drag it here and explain you. Gender I have an M and F, right? Gender is
Yes.
equal to M, then
Yeah.
what should be the value?
Male.
Else,
Female.
this is a simple example. Why it is
You have to
so
give it in double quotes, no? It's a
yeah. We have to give it in double quote. Now, this is a simple expression, but there could be some complex expressions, right? So for an example, your children, number of childrens, total childrens. If 1, then ONE 1, else if 2, then 2, else if 3, then 3, right? Is equal to 1, then what? One child, let's say. Else, again the expression, right, is equal to 2, then 2 childrens. Else, so this keeps on going. Okay. Else if 3, then what? Then 3 childrens. Else I don't want to give any more expressions. Count it yourself. Okay. Just kidding. But this is how you write else if conditions, right? If it is a complex statement, you go with this type of condition. There's an error. Why there is an error?
Else part we have not given.
Where we did not give an else part?
No, not given you.
Case when? No, we didn't give. Case when is equal to 1, then children. Else case 2 is equal to this, then 2 children. Now do you see this? Else this 3, then 3 children's, else count. Right? So just be curious there. So nested case is where you define your children's. And this is a generic case of gender. Gender abbreviation. We call it as abbreviation, or what do we call it as? We don't call it as abbreviation, right? Gender new. And then this one, right? Where this one needs to be added, I'm just cutting this off in place of middle name in order to. So if I don't keep this and give it like this, then it will throw an error because this is added with is null. So again, this question mark, it does not meets the condition criteria. So always make sure to have what? Brackets for which the equation is. So this part, internal part, is going to return either empty or middle name, but it won't return null, right? So that you basically go ahead and do the what? See the see the result as see the accurate result. Click OK and tap the data again to check what data exactly is coming up. If you don't want to see all of this, just get rid of all of this. What you want to see is basically a full name, right? And what else? Gender new and nested case children. What else? That's it. Click OK. And now run it. Do you see it? Do you see any issues here where they were null? No. Right? And you see a sample example of case, and then you see a nested example of case. So Christie's you ask is telling you to count it yourself. Right? Rubin has 3 children. John has 2 children. Getting it, guys? Is this clear to everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now this will require practice. If you are checking it in just a short note and trying to address it, maybe you're trying to practice it, you will come across issues. Just try and see what you're doing carefully. Okay. So before getting it to me tomorrow's class, first try to fix it yourself. Okay. And if anything is not working out, then park it for me. We'll look into it. Now, let's say in destination, this is of type what? And one more thing that we need to add to this is what? We need to add Mr. or what? Mr. or Miss,
Miss.
right? So based on which column we do it? So what you want to do right now is we have a column called title. Where it is?
Gen-
Here it
Gender.
is. Title, sorry, my bad. or where it is gender, right? So
Gender.
if gender is equal to male, then you will have to append this with what, like
Mr.
this, Mr. Mr and plus, okay, like this. When it should be done when gender is equal to male, else, so the whole equation should be copied, and then you will have to write a case condition on top of. So this is going quite complex. If you try to do it in this way, you will achieve end of the day. But a new developer coming in, looking at, he will like, oh, he will have to understand it one by one. Okay. So some developers do this mistake. When they have flexibility, they don't use it, but they just keep on, messing up things. So don't do this. Easiest way to do it is take another derive, right? Now this derive column, full name becomes a column. Getting it? Take another derive column. This is important, so I'm showing it to you in detail. I'm not skipping anything which is required. So take this derive column. Now this derive column will have those alias column as a column, right? Now what's your requirement? Gender is equal to male,
Male. Then we have to append with
then
full name with Mr.
Mr. plus full name, or Mr. full name plus Mr.
Mr. plus full name.
Mr. plus full name. Guys, just give me 1 minute. Sorry guys. So where are we? In else part. Else what? Else?
Miss plus full name.
I'll just write this way. I really don't know how to write it, so sorry about that. Else miss plus full name.
Full name. We have to give bracket Yusuf or it is not required.
Where?
I thought
Not
Mr.
required, right?
plus full name to be given. Not required.
You can give it if you want. It's not needed, but if you want,
Okay.
you can give it.
Okay.
See, when you have something
Okay.
like
Fine.
function, seasonal, and this and that, then it's going to be a complex one. So at that
Okay.
point,
Okay.
you have to enclose it so that you make a, you don't mess up with this one plus this one, okay? Because this one
Okay.
should be added with this one, something like that. Titled names, okay? Title names. Now there will be a requirement. Boss title names in my, in my destination is a varchar. So what you will do next? You'll use a, we have it as a nvarchar right now, which is a Unicode. Now you want to change it to varchar. So what will you do? Change it to non-Unicode. What will you do?
STR we have to change.
Yeah. So what will you do? Which task will you take?
Data conversion.
Okay, data conversion, right? Instead of getting the efforts into data conversion, you can do it here itself in the derive. So that's how it
Okay.
is powerful. Okay, you see there are typecast functions also. And if you see, there are functions which can change it to a string also. So if you just drag it and drop it here, right? And the length, whatever length you're expecting it to have, so let's say 100 is length character, and there's a default code page. 1252 is the default code page for the what?
String.
For the string. Now it didn't
Actually,
mean
what is that code page, Yusuf?
code
What
page.
does mean?
It I don't think it's special something, but when you are converting,
Always it is 1252.
yep, always starting from
Okay.
2005.
Okay.
PI 2005, they're using 1252 as a code page. Not really sure, not investigated why it is 1252, but
Okay.
that's the number. But you see, still it didn't got converted. What might be the reason? Only Jamuna is active. No, you are active but not speaking. Okay, what could be
Yes.
the reason?
No, because we have not executed that, or
Come on. No,
No,
does not
we
require.
didn't convert exactly to the title name, Yusuf. That full name and all we didn't change.
Right. So you will have to give everything to each and every part. So instead of doing that, you got this as a Unicode and close this, the whole set of, right? And on top of it, you're saying, okay, I want to convert the whole. This is how brackets play a powerful role. You will have to understand
Okay.
where to place bracket and where to not. If you keep it here, it is just converting the gender to Unicode. Oh, sorry, non-Unicode. What about this, and everything, right? Enclose everything and then use this dat underscore str. Is this clear? Where to use brackets and how to utilize it? Sometimes you're asked to get, as I've told you, that there is an email address, right? There's an email address. Where it is? Here it is. In this email address, you have to find values before at the rate. What you'll do?
Substring.
Substring. Do we have substring here? Yes, we have. Where is that? Let's check. So substring, or can we also use left to do it? So you see all of the string functions available. Wow, you can play with it. See this lower, upper, the character map is replaced here. No need of taking character map for lower and upper. If you want to get the length, no need of taking any other, transformation which has that length. No, you can use this as a whole. Whatever you want, you can get it from here. You want to reverse, you want to repeat, you want to replace, anything. What you want to do is available here. So right now, what we want to do is, firstly, if I say left of, let's say left of email address, comma 4. So what will happen?
4 characters it will give from
From
left hand
left
side.
hand side, very good. It will return 4
Four
characters.
characters.
But I want to get it till what? At the rate.
At the rate.
So you need to find where at the rate stands in each of the email address, right or not?
Hmm.
Yes.
So
Care
to do
index.
that, we have, find string in SSIS, right? Character expression is your email address. String is at the rate. Occurrence
At
is
the
one.
rate.
First occurrence. Find at the rate. Okay, let's see how does this works. Value 4 values. This is 4 values, not left 4 values. Okay, of email address. Now let's enable whatever we require to check. Right, we did many things here in derive. You're getting it right, guys? Is everyone with me?
Yes, Yusuf.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, come down. What we have looked at is full name along with
Title name.
title name. Yeah, nested child, title name, left 4, find, and also let me take what gender to check. Oh my goodness. Okay, okay, let me take gender to just to cross check if we got this title name correct. And what else? Email address, right? Let me execute this. So we'll have no issues here. Mr. Mrs. Mr. Miss, right? Do you see this getting right? Title name.
Yeah.
Now, do you see this? John, 2, it's 4 characters. All of these will be 4 because this is a static value. Now we need to get this find at the rate. How did we find at the rate from email address is using find string function inside derived column. So at the rate stands here at 6th position. You can count it. John is 3, 4, 5, and at the rate it is 6th position. For here it is at 9th. You're getting it. So with
Yeah.
this being shown, let me go back and now get the value till at the rate. Left till at the rate. Right? How do you do it? Same left character left, but not 4, but till where Anup will tell me. No, Anup.
Uh,
Anup, yeah, Anup.
we will use the find strings -1.
Very good. Find string and -1
Minus
because
one
of why Anup?
because we don't want to get the at the rate. We want to remove that.
You want to remove. So where are you going to give the brackets here?
Uh, yes, -1.
Minus. Very
-1.
nice. So let's go ahead. Man, you're active.
Not there, Yusuf.
Sorry.
Yusuf, -1 will be after the find string.
Why?
Mm. You have
Because
given
you
outside parenthesis.
outside
Yeah. This as a
find
whole I'm
string.
setting it
Yes.
as
Okay, okay.
right.
Correct.
No, I'm really I was really appreciating you. It's not that you said something wrong here. Okay. Let me execute it. Okay, now let's check. You get the result? Where is our column? Okay, here it is. Right? Do you get the result now?
Yes.
Yes. So this is about derived column. But I would recommend you guys to explore few things from here, like from some string functions, some date functions. Like I want you guys to do an assignment corely on derived column. Okay. So get me ages of the customer, get me, make them younger, make them older, get their birth date, not birth date, get their year when they were born, get their weekday when they were born, so on and so forth. Take this as an assignment and try and work with these functions and check what you can get out of it. And see, it is not just meant for your columns, it is also meant for your variables. Okay, like you saw audit. So if you want to get your system defined date, you can just come into variables and you can see that you will see that you have something called system defined execution date. Maybe here you see container start time or creation date, or you can even write get date here. Okay, so this is a like you can play with it. Okay, so explore this, and like which user was executing it, right? Creator name, which machine, right? Which GUI ID, instance GUI ID, which is unique to one particular execution, right? So machine name, package name, so many user predefined variables here. You can use this also, and user defined also if any. Was this clear?
Yes, sir.
Derived column transformation. Let me just disable this. Go back. And I think last time I have asked you guys to send me something.
Yes, Yusuf.
So no no one did remind me, and
No,
No,
I
Yusuf.
remember the
Actually, I
union
checked
or
it,
merge.
but I couldn't see any difference mentioned other than you.
Okay, so no other difference.
Yeah, I couldn't find any other difference in. I have searched
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine.
only two inputs and then sort transformation. These two was given.
Performance wise also you can add merges, you know, kind of will take a lot of time when compared to union.
Mm,
Okay, now merge join,
okay.
as no name suggests, what it does, what it does,
It joins the so two inputs, multiple inputs.
join, it joins. Okay, left, right, inner, so on and so forth. So let me check if I have some real quick tables to work with in order to perform joins. Okay, so again, whenever you say merge, there is a sort transformation which needs to come in to help you to configure that merge join or merge, what is that? Merge transformation. So what is the difference between merge and merge join then?
In merge, we will do multiple DML commands at a time in one statement. Merge and join, I don't know.
Anupam, I didn't expected this from you. Okay. Anyone else? You are a lead man.
Uh, mu-
Okay.
merge is basically append records from the two tables,
Merge. Okay.
and the merge joins is kind of a lookup between two or more than two tables.
Lookup or join? There's a difference.
That is basic.
Join.
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 Tell it as join. It's not a lookup.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Let me just find some table here. Select star from employee and let me check what it has. Some data here and then select star from department. Let's check if it has department. Great. We have these two tables we can join based on department ID. Right, either left or right or whatever it is. So what's your left hand side source would be? Which table?
Employee.
Employee, right? So it's gonna be a employee table. All right. Right. And now what's next? An interview point here. I'm going to tell you today. Make a note of it. And this is a department table. DEP. Columns. Click OK. Now what's next? Merge, join. Is that the next one which immediately needs to be configured? Yes. Let's check if this accepts it. This is left hand side input, and this is a right hand side input. If you double click, what it says?
Sort transformation has to come.
Right. So merge join also requires sort as your merge
Sort.
requires. Okay, I'm going to show you one way of without using sort, but you can sort the data. Is an interview question. Can you sort the data without using a sort transformation? Answer is yes. How? Look at this. I'm not sure, I did long back. Let's check. Go into advanced editor, component properties, component properties. Input output, and click on this and set this is sorted to true. Okay, set is sorted to true, and then come to that particular output column which you want to sort. So you want to sort it based on department. So set the sort key position to 1. Right, so these two settings, if you don't want to use sort transformation and do the sorting, again right click.
But it will sort in assembly order. This is by default.
Yeah, by default. Come into input output, click on it and make it true, and then come to that particular column and sort key position to 1. So these are few settings if you want to eliminate the sort transformation. Now take the merge join. Earlier it was not getting configured. Now let's check if it is getting configured properly. Left hand side is my employee, and then right hand side is my what? Is my department. Now if you double click, it got enabled. It's not throwing an issue anymore because of you have set the sort key position. Interview question. So join is based on the sorted key. You see this, it's automatically have taken the department ID because that's based on what you have sorted the data. Okay. Now, so what columns you want? I want employee ID, employee name, salary, email address, and department. And which type of join you want? Left outer join or right outer join, whatever it is. You can just use these things. So let's say left outer join. Do you see anything right outer join here? You see inner join and you see full outer join. Which is missing?
Right.
Right.
We can sort the tables.
Correct. Do you see that option? If you swap the table, now what it is?
Right
Right.
outer.
Okay.
Right, that's it. Right means it will consider right hand side table left. So let me swap it back. So again, an interview question there. Do you see an option called right? No. Then what do you see? Swap input. Keeping it according to employee itself. So I'm not going to go over joins because that's a SQL concept. So we'll look into in SQL. And you already have seen that. Anup didn't see it, but I hope Anup knows about it, about joins.
Yes, Yusuf.
Okay, data viewer, enable it, click OK. Now if you run it, you'll see values from all left hand side values, and values which are not matching at right hand side will be given as null. Right, so these were not there, so it have taken it as null. Remaining all have, everything will come up except, everything will come up, but the values which are not there in right, which are null, right, will come as null. A quick question here. There is a value called 4 which is not there in the left hand side table. Will that row appears here? There is a department called 4 and no one belongs to that department from employee table. Will that row appear in this list?
No. No.
No.
Anupam? Anup?
No, I think.
No, obviously, right? Because see, it will left will consider all the values from left hand side.
Right.
It won't see how many records you have in right hand side. It will consider based on left hand side that it is matching or not. If it is not matching, it will take it as null. If it is matching, then
All the records from
left hand side.
right.
So similarly is the case in right hand side. It will pull from right. It won't worry about what you have additional in left hand side. But you want to get everything from left and right, then what's the solution?
We need
Full join.
Full join.
full join.
Full join is combination of left and
Left, right, left and right.
right hand side join. Now disable this. So this was about Merge, join. Now look up. I want to park it for tomorrow because it's an important topic. I cannot go slow. It will take time. I cannot rush out time. So, all right.
Okay.
Okay,
All
sir.
right. So let's meet tomorrow with remaining concepts. I mean, SSIS will take time. So be relaxed. Your place. So it's not going to end up in another three days or so. Might take more 5 days. Maybe. Not sure. Let's check.
Okay.
Question.
Yusuf,
Bolo.
I was unable to delete the connection manager, the screenshot which I have sent you.
Which connection manager?
The Excel connection manager. So it shows an item with the same key has already been added.
Why are you deleting it?
Uh, because I have already assigned two manager at that time. So earlier connection I was just
Maybe
deleting. So I
you
was
will have to remove the sources first before remove the connection manager. Maybe I'm just guessing it out. So first see the relevant sources, remove them,
uh,
and then remove the connection manager.
I'll check it again, but I have already done this, which you are
Check it.
telling.
I mean, it's not a big thing.
Okay.
You can just remove it.
Mhm. Okay, I'll do it then.
Any other questions, guys, before we wrap it up?
Yusuf, Monday we have class because it's a long weekend.
Long weekend?
No, I'm asking whether we have classes on Monday.
Yeah, why not? What's there in Monday?
No, it's Tuesday is a holiday, so we are planning for a vacation. That's why I'm just checking with you whether we have classes or not. It's a
Tuesday is a
long
holiday.
weekend, no? Yeah, May 1st.
What is that?
May 1st, Tuesday.
What is coming
In
on May
both
1st?
Purna or something. Acha holiday also.